Oh, hi. Woo. Hi, everybody. Well, thank you very much for having me. Hi, Jason Berlin. Um, well, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you so much to the whole Alliance for inviting me. And my God, to follow Katie Porter and Ben Wickler, who are two of my complete and total heroes, um, is really wonderful. And that whole spiel that Ben just gave about the trajectory of Wisconsin, I was taking notes the whole time because I was like, I want to make this into a TikTok. That was so inspiring. And but equally inspiring is what you guys are doing here tonight, to see this many people on a call about California congressional races, and to know that people like Patty and everybody on this team are on this job, and to see that ad, oh my God, like, or video, whatever you want to call it. I watch a lot of political commercials. I'm very, very interested in messaging. I go to a lot of messaging workshops. And that was like the culmination of everything that we have been taught about good messaging. And it was done by, if I'm not mistaken, all volunteers. That is remarkable. And it really made me think about how much we have all evolved in the, what, 8 years we've been doing this. Oh my God. Like a lot of us came into this sort of green to politics, or like vaguely interested, but, really sort of shock troops who were shocked. And over the last 8 years, I have watched as people in the grassroots, the quote unquote resistance, have become so capable. We came in, you know, energetic and willing and freaked out, but we were green. None of us really knew what we were doing. And 8 years later, that is not the case. This is a group of people, all of you, everyone on this call, who is seasoned. you know we are seasoned. We are connected with each other. I know Patty for a long time. I know Jason for a long time. I've watched Ben on a million, like, I've been at canvassing events with Katie Porter. I've canvassed for Katie Porter. We There's this incredible, beautiful unity that has grown up. And I have watched as people have come. I knew Jason before he started. We were on the neighborhood council right after Trump got elected. And then I watched him like start Field Team 6 and the whole evolution. And now he's, this sought after public speaker, and he's got this amazing organization and everybody. So the topic I'm supposed to talk about is why I am confident that we will be able to flip these seats in November. And the reason I'm confident is because of all of you, is because of watching these grassroots activists become seasoned fighters in an extremely just, I don't want to call it a war. We're going to try not to call it a war, but like for a very just cause. And the best people are fighting on our side. The smartest, the kindest, the most ethical, the most creative, and the most determined. And that is why we'll win. And we will win because we know what to do. Winning is not rocket science. California suffers because there are so many other states where we all feel like, oh my God, I've got to go, get in a car and drive to Nevada and canvass there, which, is great. Or I got to go to Wisconsin, or I got to go. But we, I think, have suffered a little bit from taking our own state for granted. But what's great about this group, us, is that we learn from our mistakes and we don't make them a second time. We evolve, unlike the other side, who seems to do the exact opposite. They devolve. We're evolving. So we saw what we did, right? We neglected California in the last couple of races. I mean, not all of us. Some of us worked very hard, but like, we didn't do as much as we needed to, obviously, and that's unfortunate. But we're going to do it this time. We have this new alliance, which is absolutely incredible. We know how to knock doors. We know how to register voters. We know how to phone bank. We know how to text bank. We know how to postcard. We have done all of these things. We know, Indivisible has this wonderful neighbor to neighbor program, which I don't know if that's working in California yet, but we know what we need to do. So all I ask of all of us, myself included, is to take some of that energy that I am going to focus on swing states, just keep a little reservoir of it that I'm going to focus on my home state. I'm going to spend time canvassing in my home districts. I will be up in California's 27th district because that's closest to my house, but I have canvassed in almost, I think, every single district that we are talking about, I have been to and either canvassed or done ballot curing, including Ken Calvert's district, where, do you guys remember Julia Peacock? Was that her name? She ran in 2018. I mean, back then, like, we have been trying to win these seats, and in many cases, we have won them for a while now. We know what we're doing. So there's a lot of noise right now. There's a lot of chaos. We are going to do the thing that we do best, and this is why my newsletter is called Chop Wood, Carry Water. We just need to chop wood and carry water in the state of California, the same way we're doing it in the rest of the country. We have the volunteers. We have the technology, as they used to say in the $6 Million Man, or whatever that show was called, the Bionic Man. I don't know. We can do this. So I always recommend my readers in my newsletter that we stay in the day. We screen out the noise, screen out the polls. We're going to get really good polls, then we're going to get really scary polls, and it's going to go back and forth. And we want to remember what has happened in every election since Trump got elected, which is that we have kicked ass, excuse my language, and we're going to continue to do so. As I always say, you know, this is tough, but we are tougher. And as I watch our numbers grow, and as I watch us get more innovative and more coalesced, I have every confidence that the victory we experience in November will be our biggest victory yet. And it is going to include flipping these seats. It has to. It has to. And I'll just close by saying one of the things I think we're not as good at doing is keeping a vision for what we want to achieve. And remember, if we flip the House and keep the presidency and keep the Senate, which I absolutely know we can do, we get to codify abortion rights and stop this nonsense. We get to pass common sense gun laws. We get to get rid of the filibuster, or at least carve it out. We get to pass voting rights. We get to pass stronger labor laws. There is so much. We get to pass the Pride Act and protect people like my 14-year-old non-binary child. There is a lot that we will do, and it is really important for us to remember President Biden has been an astonishingly good president, but he's just getting started. And we Democrats are also just getting started. So let's not quit before the miracle. Let's go forward. Let's do our work here in California. Let's flip these seats that we know how to do. And let's go for the big prize in November. And I know we can do it. So thank you in advance for everything you're going to do. I am so proud to be counted in your numbers.